Okay, so now if we're looking at, if you are doing a pretest post-test, you need to measure your dependent variable at time 1. So I think there's only a few of you that are doing this, but you can see that you're only going to do this if you have a pretest post-test. So nope for between, within, or non-equivalent groups, only for pretest post-test. So here, let's say that our dependent variable, go back to my survey. So let's say that my dependent variable is self-esteem. Then I would be measuring, and I'm going to put self-esteem pre. So remember that your participants can't see this title. So I'm just going to say add a new question. And I'm going to do a multiple choice entry. And then I could change that. So if this is my first self-esteem question, I could say SE1. And then this would be my question about self-esteem. And I could have that there. And then I could have all of my questions here. So, or all of my responses. So I'm going to fill it in and come back after I pause this. Okay, so I just copied in one question from the Rosenberg self-esteem scale. And so I actually want to show you, you can click this, you can click the, you can have it add choices for you. And so for this one, the options are supposed to be strongly agree, agree, disagree, or strongly disagree. So I'm supposed to have 4 options, and you can say use suggested choices. So notice that, again, it kind of read what we were trying to do. So we have this: on the whole, I'm satisfied with myself, strongly disagree, somewhat disagree, neither agree nor disagree. I'm going to delete that because that's not one of our, this isn't one of our options for the survey. So you want to use the ones that are in your survey. So again, this one was strongly agree. We'll do strongly disagree. This one is supposed to just be disagree. And this one's just supposed to be agree. So this is based on a specific scale. So you're going to make sure that it matches your scale. So then you would add your next question. And we're going to do another multiple choice. The other way you can do it, oops, let me actually delete this. Sorry, my computer's being a little slow here. The other way you can do it is you can copy it. So the nice thing about this is that you have the same answers. You don't have to deal with that anymore. So we could just say this is going to be self-esteem 2. And then you can copy your question in, put that here. So for this pretest post-test for your dependent variable, you want to have at least 5 questions that you can add together. And then there's a different video that talks about how to add numbers so that they add in correctly. So that is one, this is just an example of doing this self-esteem pre. So this, I'm going to show you how to do the rest of what you need for a pretest post-test. So what you would need to do, my computer sounds like the jet is going off. So you would need to apply your experimental condition. So for this pretest post-test, that's the next step, is that you would need to do something, and then you would do your post-test and measure your dependent variable again. So let's say that now you have your self-esteem pretest. We're going to say that we have these 5 questions, which I'm not going to fill out right now. And add another, oops, multiple choice. Add another multiple choice. So these are my 5 questions that we'd have. So I would go through and say, this is self-esteem 3. And you might have 5 questions, you might have 10. You need to just have at least 5. So you want to use however many the scale has that you chose. So for this example, I'm just saying I have 5. So then my next block is going to be my experimental condition or my manipulation. We're just doing, this is the pretest post-test. So your manipulation would be here. So maybe you are adding a video. So you could do your text or graphic, and you could say, watch this video. And then maybe your video is to motivate them or something, and then you want to measure your self-esteem again. So then you would need to use your post test. And so it should be the same test that they're taking again. And you can have it so that it randomizes the order of questions. We can do that as well. So then you would go ahead and you would need to add another block after whatever your manipulation is. So it might be that they read a scenario, it might be that they watch a video or listen to some music, and then you need to do your self-esteem post-test. So then you would follow the same steps that you did above here, but you would go ahead and do that again for your second set of questions. So again, if you are doing a pre-test, post-test, this would be the appropriate step for you. So again, we're looking at pre-test, post-test, which is right here. You did the pre-test, you do the manipulation, which is what we're talking about right now. And then you do the dependent variable. Again, you're not going to do this, apply the control condition or measure it here. You might need to do a manipulation check. So you might need to put in that you might have to do a check to make sure it worked. There's a separate video on manipulation check and on debriefing. So this is the end of the pre-test, post-test survey. Recording. It's the end of the recording. So I do have separate videos on how to upload videos, how to do the debrief, and how to do manipulation check.